Jessica stared at her phone, her heart pounding wildly as she read flirtatious messages from Tom, her colleague. It all started innocently. A few casual conversations at work. They exchanged messages during coffee breaks, and soon their talks took a risky turn. "Let's have a drink after work," Tom suggested on Friday evening. "Just the two of us. It'll be fun," Tom said. Jessica hesitated, torn between loyalty to her husband Mark and the thrill of Tom's attention. Mark was busy with work, and their relationship seemed to have lost its spark. "Just one drink won't hurt," Jessica convinced herself as she entered the bar. They laughed, shared stories. The atmosphere was tense and exciting. Time flew by, and soon they were sitting very close. The chemistry was obvious. When Tom leaned in to kiss Jessica, her heart beat faster. She knew she shouldn't, but the moment was intoxicating. One kiss turned into another, and she got lost in the excitement of the moment. But the next morning, the weight of what had happened hit her with full force. What had she done, lying next to Mark? Guilt overwhelmed Jessica. Mark suspected nothing. She felt the warmth of his body beside her, sharply contrasting with the coldness in her heart. Jessica tried to act as usual, but guilt gnawed at her from within. She avoided Tom, but his messages made her heart beat with both excitement and fear. "Last night was incredible," he wrote. "We need to do it again." But she knew she couldn't. Mark deserved better. One evening, while Jessica was cooking dinner, Mark came home with a smile. "I have tickets to that concert you love," he said, hugging her. But every compliment felt like a knife wound to her, a reminder of betrayal. A week passed. Tom wouldn't let her go, cornering her at work. "I miss you. Let's spend one more night together," he said insistently, his eyes full of passion. Jessica shook her head, her resolve wavering. "I can't, Tom. Sorry, I was wrong," he insisted. "No need to pretend. You want this." In the evening, the temptation was too strong. Jessica returned home feeling like a walking corpse, depressed and tired. Mark sat on the couch with his laptop open, his smile fading as he noticed her anxious expression. "Is everything okay?" he asked with concern. "Yes, just a long day," she lied, trying to smile. But the smile faded when a message from Tom arrived later. "I'll be at the same bar tomorrow night alone." The next evening, Jessica felt drawn to the bar, her heart torn between desire and guilt. Mark went to bed early, and Jessica, her heart pounding wildly, quietly slipped out, convincing herself it would be just one drink. Entering the bar, she immediately noticed Tom leaning on the counter with an irresistible smile, waiting for her. They drank together, and an atmosphere filled with tension and temptation arose between them. Hard to ignore. The evening continued, and Jessica realized that this could change everything. But the desire was too strong to resist. The chemistry between them flared up again. But as they were about to kiss, Jessica felt a wave of panic and sharply pulled away, exclaiming, "No, I can't do this." "Why not? We both know you want this," Tom insisted, irritation creeping into his voice. "No, I don't want to. I love my husband," Jessica said in a weak voice. She felt her resolve crumbling. Suddenly, in the crowd, she saw a familiar face, Mark, standing by the entrance with an expression of shock and betrayal. Jessica's heart sank, and the ground seemed to give way beneath her. "Mark," she called. but he turned away and left before she could reach him. Diving deeper into the twists of this story, I invite you to join our family of storytellers on Lauren's Story. If you're interested, click the subscribe button. Each new story gives you a front row seat to unforgettable journeys that may resonate with your own life. Let's continue and see how the plot unfolds. Good job, Tom said with a smile. Looks like he caught you red-handed, he added with a smirk on his face. What did you expect? Jessica blurted out, panic filling her veins. I didn't want it to turn out this way. Then why did you come? He challenged, leaning back calmly. Jessica felt the weight of her decisions pressing down on her. I have to go, she cried out, rushing after Mark, but he had already disappeared. The next few days were agonizing. Mark avoided her, and the guilt hung like a heavy veil. She tried to contact him, but he did not respond. Their home felt ghostly, filled with silence and resentment. Then came the day when Jessica discovered Mark's plan for revenge. While cleaning, she stumbled upon a small notebook in his drawer. Opening it, her heart raced. Inside were pages with notes and plans for a trip he was secretly organizing without her. But it wasn't just a simple trip. It was a week-long vacation in an exotic place they had long dreamed of, but never managed to organize. Next to the notes were the names and numbers of women he had contacted. Panic gripped Jessica. Was he really going to go without her? When she confronted him about it in the evening, he remained cold and distant. I can't stay here and pretend everything is fine, he said bluntly. Are you really going to do this? She asked, pain and disbelief sounding in her voice. Are you going to hurt me just because of my mistake? Mark turned to her, pain flickering in his eyes. You can't play the victim, Jessica. You broke my trust. You made your choice. Tension hung in the air, and Jessica realized their relationship was hanging by a thread. What if we try to work through this? She pleaded, desperation creeping into her voice. Mark shook his head. I need time. I need space. Maybe it will be easier for me to understand myself with someone else. He left, leaving her feeling emptiness inside. Days turned into weeks, and Mark went on a trip. Jessica stayed, her mind a mix of pain and anger. She tried to drown her sorrow in work, but every moment reminded her of her mistakes. One evening, she received a message from Tom. I miss you. When will we meet again? Jessica stared at the screen, her heart pounding. She realized she was still caught in a vicious circle. In a moment of weakness, under the weight of guilt and desire, she replied, tomorrow. The next day, she met Tom at the bar, but fear gripped her at the sight of him. She realized that chasing thrills wouldn't heal her heart. As she was about to leave, her phone vibrated. A notification with a video from Mark arrived. In the video, Mark was at the same exotic place they had talked about, but with another woman, laughing and enjoying the time. Jessica's heart clenched. It felt like a blow to the stomach. She understood that he had moved on without her, and anger rose inside her. Instead of anger, she felt clarity. Turning to Tom, she said, I can't do this. I need to go home and sort myself out. Tom was surprised. Really? After all this? But Jessica shook her head and said firmly that she didn't want to be anyone's substitute. Returning home, Jessica felt a deep and overwhelming emotion that hung over her, demanding reflection and inner strength. She felt emptiness, but also a spark of hope. For several days, she pondered her actions, acknowledging mistakes and understanding the pain she caused Mark. Weeks passed, and Jessica focused on healing. She wrote Mark a sincere message. "Forgive me for everything. I hope you have found peace. I am working on myself." To her surprise, a few days later, he replied, "I have thought a lot too. I don't know where we stand now, but I'm ready to talk." This message opened the door for their meeting. They sat opposite each other, tension between them, but also a glimmer of hope. They discussed feelings, pain, and desires, trying to understand each other. "I don't want to lose you," Jessica admitted, tears shining in her eyes. Mark softened and replied, "I don't want to lose you either, but we need to rebuild trust." "This won't be easy," Jessica said, understanding that this was just the beginning. They started solving problems together, slowly restoring what was broken between them. Thank you for being with me on this journey through the complexities of human relationships. If this story resonated with your heart and stirred emotions you know well, I invite you to subscribe to Lauren's story. Your support helps us grow and continue telling captivating tales of betrayal, revenge, and resilience. Share this story with someone who might need it. Don't forget to like this video if you enjoyed it. Together, let's continue exploring the powerful narratives that unite us all.